Good Lord. I don't know how M. Night Shyamalan is still getting work after this shit pile that he peddled to the masses. This is quite possibly the most... I don't even know how to describe it. My anger towards this movie and how terrible it was cannot be expressed in actual English. I'll start from the beginning, though. The concept of this show being a movie could have been done well. But because M. Night Shyamalan was directing it, it was not done well. I have never seen such a disregard and disrespect for the source material of anything in my entire life, pretty much. This movie disrespects the original material in so many ways. It completely disregards key plot elements that appeared in the show. The Kyoshi Warriors did not appear at all. Appa gets maybe mentioned once. Momo isn't even named. Avatar Roku isn't there. Ko the Face Stealer isn't there. All of these things that made the show incredible, M. Night Shyamalan either warped and twisted completely just to, I guess, make the directing process easier, or he just took out altogether, and that a good film does not make. But aside from that, talk about the film itself. Even if this film was an original work, even if Avatar: The Last Airbender wasn't a show before this film came out, this movie still would have sucked, because the acting was horrible. The cast, I don't know what M. Night Shyamalan was trying to accomplish with the multiracial cast, but like the firebenders, the waterbenders, earthbenders, and the airbenders, they're all, like, according to M. Night, assigned a certain race. And I can gel with that, because you know what? That can work. But he breaks his own rules by inserting random Caucasian actors in what would be a Samoan race of people, or vice versa, or making Inuits just plain Caucasian people, and for some reason making all the firebenders Hindu and Indian. That for me is a problem, because in the show they're clearly shown to be of some form of Oriental descent. Clearly. But apparently M. Night must have missed that, along with the fact that even here on the poster, this is a fucking lie. He can't summon fire on his own. What the hell? I could forgive just about everything except that. That is terrible. In the show, the firebenders are able to summon fire from thin air. That's why the Fire Nation is so powerful. The Fire Nation in this movie should be getting their asses handed to them, because they need to drop a torch on the ground and light some grass on fire just to do their stuff. The airbenders can, bend air. They could pull it right out of the air. The waterbenders, water's all over the place. And earthbenders, well, there's the floor. The firebenders should be the ones being oppressed, if anything, in this movie. They're weak as hell. And while we're on the subject of the bending in this movie is very ineffective. It accomplishes nothing. Not once in this movie did bending really accomplish anything. Martial arts and weapons accomplished more in this movie than the bending, yet it's The Last Airbender. This is a problem. The firebenders, when they did firebend, which was way too few and far between, were firing their projectile attacks at the enemy so slow that my grandmother in a wheelchair could avoid these attacks effectively. It was like watching the entire movie in slow motion. Meanwhile, in the show, the bending with the firebenders and everything was spontaneous, fast, and fueled with martial arts. In this movie, there is none of that. It is slow, stupid, and uncoordinated, and it doesn't even do anything. Bending doesn't really kill anybody in this movie, except for the end when Zhao gets owned by the waterbenders, which shouldn't have even happened. Because, spoiler alert, it's gonna, I'm gonna put spoiler alerts in the YouTube because I'm gonna be giving away plot details. You're not missing anything. Aang does not turn into the fucking fish thing. This is a problem. He doesn't turn into the water spirit at the end. He makes a wave. He makes a goddamn wave. He makes a wave that he doesn't even do anything with. You would think that, okay, he's making a giant wave. Maybe they didn't have the budget for the fish. Okay, he's going to use the wave to fuck up the Fire Nation. No, he does not do that. All he does is raise the wave and the Fire Nation are like, oh, he powerful. And they just frickin' haul ass home. Okay. Why was the wave really necessary then? The wave didn't do anything for the viewer. All it did was happen. And he didn't even attack the Fire Nation with it. He didn't do anything with it. He just raised the water up and then put it down. That's your ending, M. Night? That's your big moment to repent for all the mispronunciations, which we'll get to in a few. The mispronunciations, he screws up just about every character aspect in every way. The horrible costume design, bad actor choice, and horrible misrepresentation of the series. All of that could have been semi-made up for if you had stuck true and made the koi fish spirit, but you didn't. You made a wave that did nothing. Alright. I said something about mispronunciations. Mispronunciations are huge in this movie. Aang is Aang. Avatar is Avatar. Uncle Iroh is Uncle Iroh. He's not even Uncle Iroh. He's just Iroh. Thank God Zuko isn't Zucko, or I'd just find M. Night right now and punch him in the nads. Sokka is Sokka, and I'm pretty sure I heard Katara get called Katara a couple of times. This is a problem. There is no reason why he needs to be changing all of these names around. Not only that, but he juggles around all the plot points from the show. Aang visits the Northern Air Temple in this film before he gets captured by the Fire Nation and rescued by the Blue Spirit. That is not the way it happened. The Blue Spirit episode in the anime was at least 6 episodes before that episode was even a thought, okay? He completely juggled everything around when he didn't have to. The anime was very linear. He easily could have taken some things out to make it more practical, but instead, in his stupid head, he must have thought that jumbling everything around in no practical manner whatsoever, just to try and be a little more original with it, was the best thing to do. And it wasn't. It was not effective in any way. All it does is make the viewers say, what the hell is going on? Roku doesn't even appear in this movie. We only assume it's Roku. A first-time viewer who saw this before the anime isn't going to know who the hell Avatar Roku even is, even though he's a friggin', like, pivotal character in the series. They have no idea who Avatar Roku is. All he is portrayed in the movie as is a really, really, really digital-looking Chinese dragon. That's all Avatar Roku is. That's a problem, because Roku is one of Aang's, mentors. He's one of his past lives in the series, and he's a huge character. And they just take that away. So, before I really just start getting ranty here, I'm going to end this video because we're reaching the 10-minute mark soon. Part 2, we're going to cover the writing and some of the more unnecessary changes that M. Night made. Good grief.